Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast.
Today on the show, I interview Andrea Mongenie. She's a born and raised Parisian who now specializes in abstract painting. We talk about her story and how living between London and Paris changed her life. So welcome to the show, Andrea. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. It's lovely to finally chat with you. I loved checking out your work online. It's beautiful. I mean, the abstract paintings, the colors, I can't wait to talk to you about all of it. But I want to go back to the beginning and talk a little bit about your Paris story. Now, you are born and raised in Paris, if I understand correctly.
That's correct. I was born in Paris and I stayed there until I was 17.
Nice. And then you had the idea to move to London. Is that what happened at 17? You moved?
Yeah, the idea was a long time coming. I think from age 14, 15, I just had thoughts of moving abroad and I looked into going to New York. There's a few schools that sparked my envy there, and then Italy, and then London. And then I visited for like a language course and sort of set my heart on and got in the university I wanted also. That played a part in it, and went to London when I was 17.
That's like such a formative age. You were so young and like starting off your education, and talk a little bit about what happened while you were in London. You were working in set design.
Yeah, so I went to London to study fine art originally, and then after a year sort of decided it was too I wasn't ready as an artist yet to sort of do, I don't know, I just felt too young. It felt too much.
Yeah,
so
17.
I just shifted to doing a more applied art degree, doing textiles and prints and fashion. And then after that, I ended up working in cinema and film, where I was doing costume for a while. And then that sort of veered me into set design because I just realized I like sets more than costumes. And then slowly I ended up working for this wonderful woman who was interior decorator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interior
designer.
Yeah, set designer.
And art director. She sort of had many hats, and I assisted her for a few years, and she was amazing. She really sort of helped me sort of make it on my own by giving me jobs, by introducing me to people and all that jazz. And so, yeah, I just ended up working for brands and magazines, sort of on helping art direct or set design shoots, photo shoots, basically. So kind of like making paintings, but like in a 2D sort of photography way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so much creativity that goes into set design as well. I mean, that's such an interesting thing to do. And it sounds like having this mentor really helped you a lot.
Yeah, amazing. It's so, I'll never forget that relationship I had with her and how she helped me sort of progress and challenge me.
Yeah, definitely. And at that age, it's such a good time to get somebody like that in your life to really help you. Now, so you were working, doing art directing and set design. What made you switch to painting?
The simple reason was, I mean, I was always painting and drawing throughout this, but as a hobby or like on the side and between jobs. But when I had my first child, I a lot of things, I guess, in my life sort of switched in terms of lifestyle and in terms of like, I didn't want to work very late hours anymore. And my priorities had changed because I just had a small baby and I just wanted to be there. I didn't want to miss the milestones, the first 2 years really. And, I couldn't do my job anymore the same way I used to. And so, I sort of used painting as a way to try and think of what to do next first.
Yeah, definitely. That makes so much sense because you're just kind of playing in a way, you know, just having fun and using that as a way to like kind of de-stress and figure out what's next.
That's it. I was using it as a way to de-stress, exactly. And it just grew into this regular practice. So I used to paint a little bit every day as like a little workout for the brain to stay healthy, to, keep the creative juices flowing.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good phrase. Can you even say that in French? Do you say that in French, like the creative juices? Would that be a word you would use in French? I think not.
Probably not.
They're like, what? You know, you learn lots of fun phrases while you're in England. I like it. So talk a little bit more about these abstract paintings, like what inspires them? I mean, when you sit down to start something, how do you decide what you're going to do?
There's sort of few different ways I approach my work. Sometimes it's from a landscape. So like I'm sitting in nature and I'm painting outside somewhere. I'm sort of sketching, painting loads of things that I can see around me, and that can be a starting point for painting. But sometimes it's just an emotion, and it's just literally mixing paint and gestural work and coming from maybe an emotion or a moment in time and trying to create something that wouldn't necessarily have a word or, you know, sort of more an emotion or a moment in time, something quite intuitive. And then I never really know in advance what it's going to look like. It's usually, it usually just happens as it goes.
I like that. That's kind of fun because then you can just, you know, go with it. You don't have to worry about like, oh, it doesn't look like how I wanted it to look, how I imagined it. You're just kind of feeling it out.
Exactly. But that it's still like, it still means sometimes it doesn't work out, you know?
Yeah, definitely. You still see the end result and you're like, oh, never mind. Maybe not so much. You mentioned on your website that composition can be a fragile thing. Can you talk a little bit more about what that means?
Yeah, I guess it's, when I think about composition, I think of balance. And when I think of balance, I think of even like work-life balance in our lives and in an image as well. I just think it's always quite hard to attain. It's always this fine line between everything is working okay and it's not. And so I sort of approach composition in the same way, where I just try and come up with the most satisfying but it's a lot. It's trial and error. It's a lot of like, I'll start somewhere and then sort of paint over it and start again if needs be.
Yeah, no, and it's nice that you have that option with, you know, just to paint right over it. And are you using oils or watercolors, or what do you prefer?
When I started 3 years ago, sort of regularly, I used to just do acrylics because I was working from home, and then slowly, as when I got my first studio in London, and then in Bordeaux and then in Paris, I then started doing oils as well. So I'd usually start and do a first layer composition in acrylic and then carry on with oils. I really enjoy I find oils more challenging, but also I love the sort of layers it brings to the painting, sort of multi-color depth you can get with oils.
Yeah, and combining them, it's so great. It really pops in your work. And you mentioned about work-life balance. Do you believe that it's attainable now being a mother and, a full-time artist? Is there such a thing as work-life balance?
I mean, I think it's personal to you, not as in not one that can be applicable for everyone else. I think it's your own little personal work-life balance that just means everything ticks over and doesn't fall into despair. I don't know.
Yeah, trying to balance everything and maybe one thing's not in despair. Yeah, no, completely. Because some people are like, there's no such thing. The one thing is always going to suffer, But like you said,
I think that's the work-life balance is to accept that everything suffers a little bit, but if you can make it the suffering just as small as possible. For each of them, so it doesn't become one becomes a bigger suffering than the other, then I think it sort of, it sort of works.
There you go, guys. That's balance. Equal suffering.
Equal suffering.
Equal
suffering, equal happiness.
Equal suffering. That's life, guys. And you mentioned that becoming a mother pushed your creative limits. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I think becoming a mother pushed my limits as a human being. Like I didn't expect it. I think everything-wise, patient-wise, overwhelming sense of everything-wise, I don't know. It just really pushed all my limits. And so I think in a way, it helped me push my limits as an artist as well. I really think that it was intertwined, and I managed to push myself and make art every day, not care what anyone thought. Basically, it was kind of like a confidence thing as well, and letting go. It was like becoming a mother, letting go of some things maybe that held me back before of what would my friends and family think of me or think of my art or that kind of thing, and sort of overcome that and just be like fuck it and just paint for you. And I really think it gave me a wave of confidence that I definitely didn't have before.
Yeah, how did you reach that? It was just from like kind of playing around with things, or was it becoming a mother that really was more like, I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm just going to go for this? Or was it just took time to build up that confidence?
It took time. I think, there was definitely, I cared less what people thought, because now having a child, sort of the focus isn't on yourself so much. It half, like, I don't know, half, but most of it is on the child and what their future will look like. You sort of think of yourself less. And I guess that focus, that meant that I cared less about how people perceived me, I think.
Yeah. It's kind of a liberating thing. I think that's very true of a lot of parents. They're like, yeah, now this kid is my center of my universe. So it's like, oh, whatever, screw other people thinking about me. I just take care of my kid and do other things. And what's one thing that you would go back and tell your younger artist self? What's something you wish you would have known sooner before you jumped into everything?
I really wish I started painting before I became a mother. I did, but I never felt confident enough to sort of put it out there but and I always sort of gave myself too big a goal. I would, like I'd have really big dreams, and I'd be like, and that would be sort of debilitating in a way.
Completely. Yeah. You kind of set yourself up to fail because you're like, oh, it's so big, I might as well not even do it.
That's it. And just small steps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it one day at a time, or 1 week at a time. Stop thinking in 6 months time it should be this, and in 1 year's time it should be this. That's just too much, I think. And just doing a little bit every day and being disciplined, I think is a key. That's really helped me. And I think when you have a kid, I guess for me, it was like suddenly I had more of a routine in my life, and I was forced to, my creative time was very limited in time. So, it forced me to be more disciplined in like painting or doodling every day. And it really, really, really helped.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have too many choices, you don't know what to do. It's the same with time. When you have less time, you're like, okay, I know what I got to do. I have this 1 hour.
That's it. What will I do this 1 hour a day?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel a little bit more fulfilled afterwards, and not sad that I didn't use the time well enough and all of that.
It's like going to the gym. We're happy we did it afterwards. Sometimes it's hard to start.
Exactly. Yeah, the hardest is to start. That's true. And to sort of not think of the where it's gonna go or what it's gonna look like, but to just think of the journey.
I like that. Yeah, the journey. And why did you choose abstract? What attracted you to abstract painting?
I drew loads and loads and loads as a kid. I took loads of like painting class. I was obsessed with drawing and painting, and I used to do hyper realistic work my whole childhood, my whole teenage years. I used to love portraits and techniques, and I didn't really understand abstract art. And then strangely, as I grew older and went to galleries and started to appreciating abstract art more, I think it just came with age. And then when I would sit down and draw or paint like a scene, something realistic, I would have more fun personally making whatever it was that was in front of me, make it sort of be dance on the paper, just basically take inspiration from what's in front of me, but just completely go wild with it, and then end up with something that didn't look like what it was. I guess it was challenging to me because I always was so into realistic painting that doing the opposite wasn't easy at first. It was quite challenging, and so I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's something different because you said like before everything was like hyper realistic. So now this was a different challenge. You might have gotten a little bored with that and needed to try something different.
It just intuitively, it just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like my brain had changed, and suddenly it's like I'd put on new glasses, and suddenly the world that I saw wasn't the same, and it made me want to represent the world in this sort of blurry, simpler way.
Yeah, I like that. Because I think a lot of people feel the same way. They don't really understand abstract art, and they're like, oh, I could do that, you know? But I think a lot of times with abstract art, it's more like a feeling that you're just following and you're creating, and then some people connect with that. It doesn't have to be so obvious and so direct. And I'm sure it could be like that for when you get commissions and things like that. I mean, how does it work when people are like, oh, I want you to make something for my wall? Are you just totally free to do whatever you want, or they give you the colors?
Yeah, like you said, abstract art, it's nice because you just find like-minded people who sort of connect to your art, and that's lovely. Just connecting to other people through something you have, you both love, and you can't explain why. It sort of brings you back an image or a thought or an idea of something from childhood, or I don't know. It's a bit subconscious, and connecting with another human being over art is lovely. And then when I get commissions, well, I usually, we sort of talk process, and we often decide, I like asking people what colors they don't like, and then, photos of where they would like it to go. And maybe I love getting a bit more info on the history of the house, or like the people, what they do. I think it helps me sort of make a mental image of what I want the painting to be.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Because you need something to follow, especially for a commission. And I've had friends who went from portrait photographers like me to abstract art for the sole purpose of they didn't want people to tell them what to do. They wanted to be completely free to make abstract art and not have to have a specific end result, So it is interesting in that way that you can be a little more free with abstract art.
Yeah, I mean, of course, a commission will be a slightly less free than just painting whatever you fancy. But sometimes I'm surprised with commissions, and the sort of challenge it brings can sort of push me out of my comfort zone. It's not always so it's good.
Yeah. Different challenge.
Yeah.
And I know you're Parisian, but does Paris influence your work at all?
It's funny you call me Parisian, because I don't feel Parisian. But because I've only been back in Paris for 1 year.
Oh, wow. You left for a long time.
So,
I'm asking a French person now, like, how do we define Parisian? I feel like born and raised, is Parisian.
born and raised, but actually never spent my adult life in Paris.
Yeah.
So I'm a child in Paris, but not an adult, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, as like, I'd always visit, like as a tourist, like I'd come and, see my friends once, twice a year.
Yeah.
Come at Christmas, but like, yeah. So I've only been back 1 year, but it's very inspiring. I feel a little bit like an expat, but a strange one, because obviously I grew up here. So, it's very mixed up in my brain, the two identities.
Yeah, I imagine that's confusing, especially for being gone for so long during your formative years, and now with a family too. And what do you hope to do with your work? Do you want to influence people? Do you have something you hope people take away from your work?
I would love for people to feel a connection, and if they feel connected to my art, that's lovely. And a sense of calm, or just sense of calm, I think, would be a great achievement for the viewer. And I guess if they can come up with an emotion or a thought from seeing it in real life, because I think seeing it in real life is important to sort of get that. That would be great. And if you don't get it, that's fine too.
Yeah, no stress, people, no stress. And what do you think is the role of art in today's society? Like, why do you think we need it? What do you hope for it, in your opinion?
Big question. I mean, it's so important. I feel like our society is become so many people tell me they're not creative, and I'm always like, of course you are. Everyone is. You were a child. You're once, so you're definitely creative. It's definitely in there. It's just not sort of valorized. It's not cherished. I don't know. Like, people aren't told to practice it and to for your mind, for your health. Like, I don't know. It's just our society has just decided that being a doctor or a lawyer or a banker was better than doing anything creative, and it's such a shame, because actually we're all creative inside. It's just about how bringing it out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I love and I think art could do so much for the world if it was less of a, you know, backside. I don't know. Like, now, I don't know.
Yeah, like a side passion. Like, it'd be nice if there was no, I mean, the main thing, a lot of times people don't pursue the arts because, like, I'm not going to make money. I'm going to pay my rent. So, like, if we could take money out of the equation and people were just making art for the sake of making art, it'd be really fascinating to see how many more artists we'd see in the world, or even people brave enough to try.
Yeah, I guess that's also why I wasn't an artist for a really long time, is because I had the same preconception that, you know, you can just paint, but you can't sell it. And yeah.
And now what would you say to those people? Like, you do this is your job now. So
Yeah.
It's clear now. And, like, were there any business advice you would have for artists?
I guess surrounding yourself with other sort of like-minded artists who've already done it is helpful, because you can then you have real life inspiration that it's doable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, I found social media be a good way to if you use it like a portfolio, it's actually a good way to show your work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any way possible, as long as you're practicing every day and working hard. I think a lot of people get lost thinking about selling their work and where it's going to go next, or exhibitions, instead of producing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's important is to just stay focused on producing work.
Yeah. Shift your focus to just the work itself and not the final outcome.
Yeah. And that usually that will have more active results in terms of you know, sales and everything else. Follows, I think.
And talk about your definition of creativity, how you define it.
How do I define creativity? I think creativity is everywhere. I think everyone's creative all the time. Problem solving is creativity. Helping someone overcome something, finding little tips in your life. I don't know. I think creativity is everywhere. I love creativity, and I love pushing the boundaries of. I think creativity is sort of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's like when you go traveling and suddenly your brain think of new things, or when you're. For me, that's how it works when I'm in a different place, or I meet different people. It really helps me be creative, because it sort of forces my brain to think differently.
I love that. Yeah, it's just about, like, getting out of your norm.
Yeah, be as open-minded as possible, be as tolerant as possible, and just let other people's thoughts be as interesting as your own, kind of thing.
Yeah, no one's above anyone else, just being open-minded.
Yeah. And not thinking there's a right answer for anything.
I like that. Yeah. Because a lot of times I think we get really stuck in like what should be the answer or what do other people think, or it's just like following that intuition.
Absolutely. And being wrong is okay too.
Yeah, that takes a while to learn for all of us. I think is breaking those habits of that. And are there any future projects you're excited to share with listeners?
I have I'm part of a group exhibition in Paris in October, on the 18th of October at a gallery called Galerie La Roque-Granoff near the Pont des Arts on Quai de Conti in Paris. And you're welcome to come.
Yeah, I would love to come. Everybody come. Let's go support. How long will it be on for? A couple of months, couple of weeks?
It'll be on for a month. And I think I'm going in 2 weeks. I'm doing a residency in Étretat in Normandy, where I'll be painting some hopefully some abstract seascapes of some kind. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a beautiful area. Me and my husband love going to Normandy. Étretat is gorgeous. I'm
so excited because I haven't been since I was a child.
Oh, wow.
So I'm quite excited to sort of see it with new eyes.
Yeah, and a new family in tow. Yeah. And where can people connect with you online and see your work and learn more?
I like sending people to my Instagram first because it's quite an easy scroll to sort of see a range of paintings that I do. So if you go on Instagram and you type in Borneo_studio, you'll find me. And then, there's always links to websites and other things down there.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to share all that in the show notes, your website, your Instagram, your email. And if people want to check out your work and commission something or just connect, great place to do it. And thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. I hope it was lovely to be asked to do this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.